Pretty much every WWE superstar nowadays has a YouTube channel, whether they are present or past, current WWE superstars, ex-WWE superstars. But just like everything in life, these YouTube channels are not created equal. So in today's video, we are going to be ranking 10, I believe, WWE superstar YouTube channels. Before we get into that though, if you are new here, make sure to go down below, drop a like and subscribe. I pump out multiple wrestling videos every single week to keep you lot entertained. But with that being said, let's get into the video. So as you can see on screen, we have our tier list. Our tiers are GOAT, Great Watch, Take It or Leave It, Not For Me, and Trash. And coming up first, we have the Stevie Richards Show. We'll put it in Take It or Leave It for now, just while we talk about it, and then we'll decide where he goes. Now, in all honesty, Stevie Richards Show is great. Now, is Stevie the most knowledgeable of what it's like to be at the top of the card in professional wrestling? No. But he is very self-aware of that. And having a co-host in James Romero is absolutely great. You can like or dislike James Romero, whatever you think of him. He's very knowledgeable. And he is a really good person at kind of steering the videos in the right direction. All in all, I think if you are going to watch a wrestling YouTube channel, I think you have to put Stevie in Great Watch, because there are so many people here that just aren't on his level. And next we come to the Major Wrestling Figure Podcast. Brian Myers, Matt Cardona, Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins, if you want to call them their other names. Put them in Take It or Leave It for now, just while we talk about them. It's great. If you are into wrestling figures, you are probably going to be into their channel. They are both massive toy nerds in the best way possible, because they know what they're talking about. In saying that, the channel isn't going to be for everyone, and me, myself, I might watch if there's a big video, but I'm not watching every single video or every single episode of the podcast. And for that reason, I'm actually going to keep them in Take It or Leave It. Oh, and now we come to recently ex-WWE superstar Xavier Woods, Austin Creed, and we're talking about Up, Up, Down, Down. Now, Up, Up, Down, Down is iconic in the sense that it has provided a ton of moments, and it was... I feel like Woods was kind of an originator. He was making, you know, like a YouTube channel in a time where WWE kind of didn't really like their wrestlers having YouTube channels, and they took a piece of it, much like they did to... Zack Ryder back in the day with, was it Z True Long Island Story? Now, I have to be honest and say that Up, Up, Down, Down has provided us with some incredible moments, some incredible memes.
Hi! The merchandise. Yes, sir.
And like even having the New Day and the Elite face off was because of Up, Up, Down, Down, really and truly. We didn't get it in a ring like we should have, but I have to put it in Not For Me. A lot of the games that were being played on Up, Up, Down, Down just didn't interest me. I'd see clips, I'd see the memes, I'd see the funny bits, but I wasn't actually watching the show. And now we come to a current WWE superstar, and we have What Do You Want to Talk About with Cody Rhodes, his podcast. It might be a bit cheating putting a podcast in a YouTube channel's tier list, but already I'm going to put it straight up in Great Watch. I don't think I've missed an episode of What Do You Want to Talk About. Actually, I might have missed one. I missed the most recent one. Cody is so knowledgeable when it comes to professional wrestling, and he's actually a surprisingly good interviewer. In terms of, I suppose, in a lot of ways, he's interviewing people that he gets along with, or people he's actually curious about. In particular, if you want to watch, in my opinion, the best episodes, go and watch the Kevin Owens episode, or the Jimmy Hart interview was incredible. Either of them, I'd say, are the top two episodes in my opinion. Now we come on to Click This with Kevin Nash. Already, I'm going to have to put it straight in trash. Normally, I'd put it in the middle and we'll talk about it, but Kevin Nash, for who he is, for what his contributions were to the wrestling business, like him or hate him, his channel should be in GOAT. In theory. However, the production value's not there. He doesn't necessarily even really have refreshing takes. For something that could be a GOAT, to see what Click This is, it's not on par with What Do You Want to Talk About or the Stevie Richards Show. It's not on par with the Major Wrestling Figures Podcast. It's not on par with Up, Up, Down, Down. It has to be, by proxy, in trash. And it kind of fits with that, considering I don't watch it. I do not watch Kevin Nash's YouTube channel. Oh, we come to Celtic Warrior Workouts with Sheamus. We will put it in Take It or Leave It for now, and we'll talk about it. Celtic Warrior Workouts with Sheamus is great. I wonder what's going to happen now that he's left WWE. I don't know. But these are really good videos, and I think if you are someone who is a wrestling fan who wants to get in the gym, watching these videos would be great for you, because you're seeing the correct form, you're seeing how to do the actual lifts. I think the side of it for people who are already experienced in the gym is you're seeing different movements, though you're seeing things that are a bit unorthodox. Like I remember watching the Finn Balor episode and seeing the uneven shoulder press because it engages the core, and I tried it and it was crazy the amount of like actual tension it put on the core while also working your shoulders. I loved it. And again, that's something I wouldn't have known about if it wasn't for Celtic Warrior workouts. And for that reason, I have to put it in Great Watch, because not only are they well produced, not only are they great videos, they're educational. And now we come to the benchmark. He's going in GOAT. I genuinely think if you are a professional wrestler and you want to make a YouTube channel, you should look to Maven. Because with Maven, he is someone who is very knowledgeable, but doesn't over exaggerate his limits. Maven's not sitting there saying, oh, well, you know, there, guys, I was scheduled to be World Heavyweight Champion. He's not doing that. He can talk about guys like Randy Orton because he traveled the road with him. He can talk about what it's like to be in the ring with The Undertaker because he was in the ring with The Undertaker. You know, even guys like Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Maven interacted and was in the ring with these people. So to have that experience, to have the wealth of knowledge that Maven has, and to be such a good talker as well, it makes for the perfect formula. But that's just talking about Maven. I mean, we really need to give some credit to Maven's producer. I can't remember his name for the life of me, but he is great because the video ideas, the formulas, the editing, all of that is so good, and it is just the cherry on top to what is already a very interesting person to listen to. Maven is, in my opinion, the GOAT of wrestling YouTube. If you are going to watch a former or current professional wrestler's YouTube channel, watch Maven's. Oh, we come on to Jim Cornette. Cornette, a very controversial figure in the world of professional wrestling, but where does his YouTube channels line up? Obviously, he has his channel. Is it the official Jim Cornette is at the channel, and then he has his podcast, which is The Experience and The Drive-Thru. Now, I think Cornette's episodes are great, and I will listen to them, and I will have them on as background noise. However, as a YouTube channel, they're not actually that good, because for the clips, it's just a still photo in the background, and you're listening to Jim Cornette talk. And for that reason, like, I don't think I can put him in higher than Take It or Leave It. I would put him in GOAT with Maven, because I love listening to him speak. I love listening to the topics they cover, and I love listening to Jim Cornette's takes, whether I agree or disagree the entire time. However, as far from a production value standpoint, and as far as a engaging content standpoint, I don't think I can put it on a level with Sheamus, Cody, or Stevie Richards. If it was a video based off of wrestling knowledge, or based off of, you know, how interesting they are to listen to speak, he'd be at the top, of course he would. But based off of YouTube channels, and if I'm recommending these to you guys, I probably have to put him in Take It or Leave It. Next, we have story time with Dutch Mantell, what a lot of people will know as Zeb Coulter from when he was managing, he managed Jack Swagger, Cesaro, Alberto Del Rio, but he is a incredible figure behind the scenes. He was behind a lot of the booking of early TNA. He was involved in a lot of booking in WWE in the territory days. He's responsible for, realistically, the Knockouts division in TNA. And already I'm going to put it in Great Watch because it's another James Romero production with, like what is Stevie Richards. Now, is the channel as engaging as the Stevie Richards show? No, but that's because it's a different person in Dutch Mantell. You know, Dutch's health isn't always the best, so the consistency can suffer as a result of that. However, the topics that they talk about and listening to Dutch's perspective on them is very refreshing and very interesting because, like I said, Dutch is someone who was so heavily involved in WWE at that time and in things like TNA and, like I said, the territory days, and he knows everyone. Dutch, I think Dutch was best man at Undertaker's first wedding or something like that. So you want to talk about someone who really knows everything about professional wrestling. That man is Dutch Mantell. But now we come to the last and not least YouTube channel. It is Devon Dudley. Now, this is a tough one because I don't know where to put it. It's not going in Great Watch. It's not going in trash. It's going to go in Not For Me or Take It or Leave It. We'll put it in Take It or Leave It for now, and then we'll talk about it. Devon, I think, is someone that suffers from Kevin Nash syndrome a lot. And that's not to say that Devon's channel is bad. It is by no means bad. But for someone to have the experience in professional wrestling that Devon Dudley has, you know, involved in the best time in ECW, he's been tag team champion all over the world, involved in WWE for their most important period, involved in TNA for their most important period. He should be really interesting to listen to. And in saying that, he's definitely the most likable Dudley boy. But the problem is I don't find him very interesting to listen to. I don't find him to be very charismatic. I don't find him to be the most interesting, and I don't say that horribly. Devon Dudley, I'm sure, is a great human being, and I know he can be great to listen to or watch or talk to because I've seen him on videos with guys like Maven, and it's great. That being said, can I have him on a level with Jim Cornette and the Major Wrestling Fig guys. I'm actually going to put Cornette above the Major Wrestling Fig guys. And no, and I can't have him a level above Austin Creed either. I just can't. I do think that there is an audience for Devon's videos, and that has shown in how successful they've been. But truthfully, they're not for me. But that about wraps up my tier list of wrestling YouTube channels. Make sure to go down below and let me know in the comments what you thought of my opinions and where you would rank these wrestling YouTube channels. If you are new here, make sure to go down below, drop a like and subscribe as well while you're commenting. But with that being said, I will see you all next time.